let's just make sure we're all good here. You know, it's been that long since we've done this. My word, I forgot to do it. Right, ladies and gentlemen, after that little technical hip-up, we are back. Ladies and gents, I'm excited to be back. We are streaming from the gorgeous Norfolk, East Anglian countryside. Well, we're not quite streaming from the countryside. We're not far from the countryside, it must be said. And straight away, we are into it. We've got to refresh ourselves a little bit, aren't we, on where we are? Because let's be fair, it's been a little while since you last joined us. So let's have a little look at what we got up to. If we have a look at the standings, of course, in terms of the constructors' standings, we are ahead of Red Bull by around, God, what's that, 58 points. We are ahead of Red Bull Racing. We're miles in front of Aston Martin. Driver standings wise, Charles Leclerc is leading the way ahead of Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz in P3 in the championship at this moment in time. So it's all looking rather good. Look how professional we are. We've even got some acoustics behind us this evening. Paula, I know now this has been a really last minute decision, this, to get things going. Gibbo, my friend, how are you? I hope you are well. Yeah, we're going to have to look at this there. We've got some acoustic panels behind us. We need a bit of better lighting, but, you know, mate, the house is all done and good. It's getting there. It's getting there. It's been a mad few weeks. I were in Italy last week. I'm in Germany tomorrow. So, yeah, it's been an absolutely mad few weeks. I've got me chat on that side now for a change. So, yeah, we're going to get straight into it tonight. So, yeah, let's have a look what happened in the last race. I know it's been a while. I did the video on this, didn't I? In Montreal, we did manage a 1-2 for Ferrari, of course. Yeah, 70 laps around there, and we got a 1-2. We're all looking rather lovely. And this weekend, we head to Austria. 71 laps around here. It is a sprint weekend, so it's going to be a little bit longer than normal. Well, that's a normal. What's normal to us now? Going to be a little bit longer. But yeah, hopefully you can join us for this. And like I said, last minute decision, but we needed to get back on, didn't we? We needed to get back streaming a little bit. And yeah, we're on 565 subscribers or something nowadays, so it's gone a little bit mad. I'm pretty much recorded for the next 2 weeks on YouTube. We're a toss-up between doing this and Silverstone is where we're up to on Andretti Cadillac, where of course we are cruising at this moment in time. So let's get stuck into this then. What do we do here? Let's get to the performance targets, of course. Qualifying position, we are going to go for 2 in the top 5. We should reach Q2 with both cars. Yeah, very busy, mate. Very busy indeed. I'm sort of jetting all over the world at this moment in time. It's been mentally busy. Like I said, we were in Como last week when were it Imola that came out on YouTube? I'm good, just working out, but hardly pay more attention to Paula, as you should, my dear. It's nearly Friday. It's nearly Friday, of course. We know that. So that's where we are at this moment in time. We might as well get stuck straight into the weekend. Let's just have a look on the car analysis. Where are we? We're not looking as good as we possibly were, so it might be a tough weekend for us. It's 9th on high speed. My word, any spoilers on the Andretti career mode? Not at all, mate, because this season on Andretti is looking particularly decent. I'm up to Silverstone now, so I've got this week's and next week's recorded already. But yeah, we are very much doing well at the moment. So yeah, don't miss out on that. It's looking like it's going to be a nice final season. And then yeah, we've got to think ahead to F1 Manager 24 as well, because obviously with Creator Team, I'm hoping we can do something a little bit different with Creator Team this year. I've got a few ideas on what we could possibly do. Let me know if you've got any ideas in the chat, of course, because yeah, it's going to be very interesting. Creator Team, I was watching a little bit of something on it last night, so I think it could really add a new dimension to the career mode this year. So yeah, it's going to be very interesting indeed. We could go for an F1 women's team. We could do that, very sort of pink and purpley car, and make it like I don't know, a W series team. We could go very much for the youngsters and go for the up and coming drivers. and oh, we could just go for like legends. We could probably ping back Vettel. I know I've brought back Raikkonen in the Andretti save, so yeah, there's a lot to look at. Particularly decent. Maybe domination is what I've decoded from that, mate. Not giving out away, pal. Not giving nothing away. Everybody thinks as well, because I've moved down to Norfolk, down here I sound very different. So it's been very different indeed, me moving down to this part of the world. Because everybody sort of don't understand me as much. I don't know if you get sort of accents in America like this, but yeah, yeah, everybody's sort of, I won't say struggling to understand me, but certainly looking a little bit different. Let's just get the setups right, because of course we ain't got time in his life to really mess around with practice sessions. So 0.8 will go on the toe out. We'll get that back again. Oh, that were car 2. Car setup. See, I forgot how to do everything. I forgot how to start the stream up, to be fair. It's been that long since I've done this. 3.1 and 0.8. Right, that's beautiful work. That is fantastic. Interesting. I've been intrigued to see all the rookies, but it would take a while. I think it would very much take a while. I mean, what do we normally get? We normally get about sort of 4 seasons, don't we, in the YouTube series, so it might be good. It's good when you're not winning straight away, as we're looking like we're not going to be doing here this weekend. But yeah, I think it'd be interesting to build them up. I reckon rookie female, rookie male. Oh, that could work. I do like that. I do like that indeed. I think that'd be a little bit different. I do think that could work. So yeah, we could build a storyline with that. I think we could build, and that's what it's all about, trying to build that storyline. On them YouTube series, like we have with Andretti at the moment, and like I said, we're getting there now. We're getting there, and yeah, I need to get the lighting sorted in here. It must be said as well. I've just realised this is quite a dark lamp I've got above me. But yeah, it could be very interesting next season. We could have a lot to do. I mean, do we go for the? I think we've got to go for the creator team rather than just taking on a normal one. Right, what have we got? We've got very rainy qualifying session here. Let's get the proper engine bits back in. I'm not going to be able to sort of plan a full streaming schedule at the moment because I'm literally here, there and everywhere. Like I say, next week I'm in France for a couple of days, and the week after that I'm in America, so I really can't sort of plan it. Might be a little bit more as and when. I might try and get, like, because I'm getting back in front with Andretti now, I might try and get like a couple of videos on this to sort of get us through the season. But yeah, that's kind of where we are at with this series at the moment. Right, a setup's good. Everything's looking fine. Let's start qualifying. It must be said, it doesn't look like we've been particularly quick so far this weekend. So let's hope that we can put on a good show for us this weekend. I will try and get a couple of pictures up from the Como little trip. Creator team's definitely the route. It absolutely is. I would totally agree. Let's hope we get a decent run out here because we've got rain. Leclerc was pretty much first out of the blocks. And it looks like he's setting some decent lap times. He's purple through the final couple of sectors, as he should be. It's nice, Paula. I'm not going to lie to you. It is nice. Yeah, it's been last week in Como in particular. Well, it was like obviously you're working, so you don't get to see much of it. But yeah, certainly did do towards the end of the trip. I was there for 3 days. Sort of the Thursday night, we went to a restaurant and sort of had a little dinner overlooking Lake Como. It were nice. It were nice. Don't get me wrong. But like I said, I've never been to Germany. I've never in my life been to Germany. So tomorrow's going to be the first time I've ever been to Germany. I'm going somewhere near Dusseldorf. And that's pretty much going to be the end of Q1. Pierre, by the way, let's just a bit of Andretti love in here. Pierre Gasly is in P2 after Q1. That is what we like to see. Go on, Pierre Gasly, lad. So yeah, I can't complain. I can't complain at all. I've very much enjoyed it so far. There's a lot of work, but we're certainly getting there. Currently doing a Bottas career. I'm actually up your neck at woods, Paula. When I go to America, well, I'm up your neck at woods. I don't know if I am. I'm in near Philadelphia. North Wales, I'm up near there, so I don't know if that means anything to you, but yeah, that's where I'm going to be. Currently doing a Bottas career mode on manager at the minute, second in the championship on 24, looking good. That is ridiculous. So you've got up to P2. Did you just like purely research the second season's car? Is that where it were? Because that is crazy that you're in second in championship. I'm guessing it's Red Bull that's first. Am I right in saying there's a few cars gone out late? I don't think we need to do that. But yeah, that's crazy, mate. Well done. Fair play to you. There's a lot of cars gone out on an outlap. I don't think we've needed to. Italy's a lovely place, Paula. It's not good if you're trying to lose weight. Because you've got pasta pizza, which is not good. But, yeah, you can't go wrong with it, really. That is not a bad Q1, I don't think. Verstappen on pole so far, but Leclerc and Sainz in P4 and P9. We're hoping that we're going to get another decent run out here. Now, I know from the... I'm going to try and get through on one set of soft compound tyres, purely because I know for a fact you can use a soft compound tyre in the sprint race if you go light on it, so it's something to just bear in mind. We need to get out of the pits pretty quickly here. Sainz is out and Leclerc. Get them both out. Red Bulls and Aston, my word. Where's Ferrari gone then? Where is Ferrari gone? That's 2 hours and a few minutes from where I live, so close. Absolutely. It's going to be a pretty busy trip, to be fair. Yeah, there's a lot to... I've not been to that sort of part of America, so looking forward to it. And yeah, it should be good. But so yeah, I'm literally going to be in your same time zone, Paula, which will be nice. Got lucky on races and hardcore research. Yes. You've gone for the hardcore research. I thought you must have gone hard on the research. Let's have a look. That has been a pretty solid start to Q2 for us. Second and fourth. We are looking very much in the fight this weekend as it now starts coming down with rain at the Red Bull Ring. Fourth, yeah, can't go wrong with that, can we? Cannot go wrong with it. Yeah, apart from that, I don't think there's too much to update you guys on. I've not decided to do anything. You know, like we had the memberships and stuff that we got to. We got 500 subscribers and we pushed for ages to get to 500 subscribers. And then, like, now I still see it ticking up. I don't want to put any sort of paywalls or anything like that. I don't see point of that. Maybe if we get to, well, so maybe if we get to 1,000. If we get to 1,000, we'll obviously... I don't want to sort of put anything behind paywalls and things. I don't think that's the right thing to do. So, at the moment, it is as is. We're going to keep the Tuesdays and Thursdays, and we'll just keep trying to do other little bits of stuff as and when we can. To be fair, it should settle down in sort of 8-9 weeks' time. It should settle down a little bit. But at the moment, it's just like, it's mental. Sandbagged the season... To be honest, got lucky with 7th, done one upgrade before the research opened. Wow, okay. So you really went big. Now, maybe that's something to consider. You know, for the sort of creator team next year. Yeah, maybe that is something to consider. That's interesting. Wet tyres for Q3. Now, let's just start and see what happens here. I can't see that... What's the track details going to be like? It's going to drop off towards the end. Are we going to get to dry compound tyres here, do we think? Do we think we can? Definitely do merchandise when you can. Lube Blade merchandise. I've actually got, and I could probably show you, but I don't think I've got it with me. I've actually got the capabilities of doing like mugs and stuff like that. I don't know if that'd be something that might come into it. I think it's something that I could certainly look at doing. We are going to take a bit of a gamble here. With 4 minutes to go, it should be practically dry. So we're going to strap on a fresh set of soft compound tyres. And then when we get towards the end of the session, Sainz and Leclerc should be ready to rock and roll. We are going to leave it as late as we possibly can. To about maybe 2 minutes, I'm thinking. And we want to be the last one around the track if we can. Let's have a look. We're going out now. Verstappen just got out a little bit later than we did. Let's see what we do here. We can see Leclerc and Sainz now bombing around. Hopefully, we can get a good qualifying position. Remember, we've got the sprint race tomorrow, so it's not the end of the world if we don't. I changed the engine to Red Bull, so I'm quick on the high-speed corners and straight. That has been the biggest thing with the Andretti career mode. If you've got stuck with that Renault engine, you're absolutely knackered. So all I did was buff it a little bit. I didn't overpower the engine. I think I showed it on the first episode. It was still not particularly good, but it was certainly better than it was, and it allowed us to be a little bit more competitive. but we did go really big on the sort of research and stuff. That looked very close to track limits for Charles Leclerc, who's coming up to the line and puts it on provisional pole position. Carlos Sainz is one of the only people left on track with Verstappen. Verstappen possibly could beat us to pole position. Carlos Sainz goes P3. Where, oh where is Max Verstappen as he crosses the line? Can he pinch pole position from us? He can't. Max Verstappen. P1 for Charles Leclerc. That is fantastic. 200ths of a second in front of Max Verstappen. We shall take that all day long. And Charles Leclerc is on pole. That Max Verstappen and Perez P2 and 3. Carlos Sainz P4. Lovely, lovely stuff. We'll take that all day long. We're going to just leave the car parts, and I'm not too arsed what we do in practice too. But pole position, that is superb. I've weirdly got Nick De Vries doing way better than Tsunoda in my AlphaTauri save. He's got most of the points for the team. Nick De Vries. Very interesting. Have you stuck with him? Is it your first season or... My word, he's done very well. Done very well. No, he cannot P1 on our pole position. Talk about a good start to return. This is why we should stream a little bit more, isn't it? This is why we should stream a little bit more. Definitely. Let's just adjust my head a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better, isn't it? Right, you can actually see
well, we're going racing a little earlier
see me here now. Right, sprint-wise. Now, on Andretti, and I think... Oh, now you're doing it. Now, this week, I don't know if it's this week, I don't know if it's next week. We do the sprint race in Austria. I recorded it. It might have been last night I recorded it. And we go for the soft compound tyres, and Pierre made them last like you've never seen. I am very tempted to try and just push away with Charles Leclerc, especially at the start. I mean, what tyres have we got for tomorrow? We've got 3 sets of softs and 3 sets of mediums. We are absolutely blitzing it on tyres. Everybody tends to go for the mediums. I'm wondering if we try and push away a little bit. No, I think we're going to stick with it. We're going to stick with it. So we'll go Leclerc. We're going to go on mediums for both. We'll just take 1 lap of fuel out for both. And obviously try and push away. I'm tempted to go softs, you know, for Leclerc. I'm really tempted to go softs. Yeah, we're going softs. We're going softs for Leclerc and mediums for Sainz. Right, let's get stuck into it. I'm going to try AlphaTauri and do Red Bull's rejects. Got Ricciardo and Albon first, and then don't think can get Gasly. We know we love Pierre on this channel. We love Pierre on this channel. I've renewed his contract. It is the first season, but I went out and intensity design upgraded the race simulator to 5. See, that's it, you see. He's getting all that practice in simulator. It's actually making him rather decent. They ought to get Logan Sargent doing that in real life, didn't they? How bad has Logan Sargent been, by the way, so far this season? He's not been very good at all, has he? Right, the plan is here. Charles Leclerc sets off like an house on fire, runs away from Max Verstappen, and we don't see the Red Bulls for the rest of the sprint race. That is the plan. If that plan works, I look like a genius. If we just burn his tyres out, I don't look particularly good. And Max Verstappen's already looking pretty punchy, as is Checo Perez, who's up into P2. He got a better start than his teammate, and I don't think we are going to manage to run away as much as we would hope so at this moment in time. Oh, my saying that, he's already pulled out nearly half a second on Perez. Of course, we've only got towards the end of lap 1. Sainz is under a little bit of pressure from Russell. We've not actually pushed on Sainz, have we? So Sainz can just push up towards Verstappen a little bit. But Charles Leclerc is going for gold to try and get around it a little bit. Agreed, I hope for the last race he was doing okay, but then it all fell apart. Yeah, exactly. He's just not quite doing it, is he? I feel a bit bad for him. Williams seems to be really strapped for cash this year, don't they? It must be said. Leclerc is doing everything he possibly can to get away from Max Verstappen here, and I don't think he's going to manage to do it. He's just set the fastest lap of the Grand Prix, as you would expect. Carlos Sainz is under a little bit of pressure behind him, but I would suggest that Charles Leclerc just can't quite get away from the Red Bulls, and that means now it's time to just settle down, and we'll go a little bit lighter on the tyres, and let's see how this plays out. 1 on mediums, 1 on softs. Carlos Sainz is fighting with the Mercedes of George Russell at the minute. He's got to get himself back in DRS, which I'm sure he will. He normally does rather well, does Carlos Sainz. But at the moment, lap 2, not too much to report, as he's now back in the DRS of Max Verstappen. Perez in P1. Perez has got Leclerc, interestingly, so that's that little move out of the window. But Carlos Sainz, let's fast forward on a little bit now and see what Sainz is doing. He's got it Sainz is sound now. Sainz is absolutely sound. He can go on aggressive. Charles Leclerc has dropped out of DRS. Has he? Not quite. He's nearly dropped out of DRS of Checo Perez. He needs to ensure that he does manage to stay in that DRS. Otherwise, he's going to be really, really struggling towards the end of this sprint race, especially with these tyres. He's caught back up now. Beautiful work from Charles Leclerc. Sainz is in P4. He's managing his tyres well as well. So not too much else to report. We'll fast forward on once again. And just ensure, I mean, Charles Leclerc is just playing this beautifully. He's light on his tyres, making sure that he's staying in with. He's not under threat from Verstappen at all. Perez is just dragging him along with him. Sainz, however, is very much not in this little battle, so he needs to push on a little bit as well. Just Carlos Sainz will just try and push him up to the back of Verstappen, which he manages to do beautifully. He don't mess about, our Carlos, does he? The one thing I would note is we've got a little bit of fuel to save here as well, so when we get the chance with Carlos, we can start doing that as well. But yeah, I've been disappointed with Sargent. I thought he might come of age a little bit this year, but it's not quite worked for him. And it's got to be said, Danny Ricciardo's not looking exactly brilliant, is he either? Daniel Ricciardo's been very disappointing. Which I found a bit unusual, to be fair. I thought he might do a little bit better, Danny Rick, this season, but yeah, not doing very well at all. Leclerc is cruising here as we just fast forward on again. Sainz cannot seem to keep in the DRS of this front three at this moment in time. Charles Leclerc, if we just have a look at the tyre wear, he's managing his tyres beautifully at this moment in time on lap 8. Look at them. They're on 74%, Perez on mediums, and Charles Leclerc on soft compound tyre, he's just making this look very, very comfortable at this moment in time as we fast forward on once again. Perez, I'm not too concerned if he gets Leclerc, but he's that busy fighting with Verstappen at the minute. And now he's just got past, and he's just got he's just got out of DRS range there. And Tsunoda definitely a contender for the Red Bull seat. Do you think so? I don't know, Yuki Tsunoda. I don't think he'd be. I don't think he'd be Red Bull's cup of tea because he's a little bit erratic in terms of his attitude, isn't he? Yeah. Do you know what I mean? He's a little bit erratic, so I don't know if they go for him, but they seem so wishy-washy on that. Yeah, I would agree. It's I don't think they're that bothered about Tsunoda. I think he's very good for the sponsorship, obviously, as well. Obviously, bringing in that Japanese sponsorship, especially with that underpowered engine, it does really help. But yeah, they seem so best of the rest at the minute. I think possibly he is. 1 minute they praise him, the next is still immature. Yeah, I think there is a bit of that. He has got that immaturity to his game, and that's something that I think they've got to be very aware of. Leclerc is struggling to keep pace. Now, I know we're conserving fuel, but I am concerned about running out of fuel, to be fair. And we don't want to do that because I've done that before, and it doesn't help matters. It really doesn't when you do that. But yeah, he's been disappointed. Is it this weekend, the Grand Prix? I forget. Is it this weekend? I can't remember off the top of my head if it's this weekend or next. But yeah, it just reminds me of Max. Yeah, true. Max is hardly the coolest head in the world, is he? It must be said. Mind you, he is when he's winning, and I don't mind that. I mean, I were having a debate with a kid at work the other day about, I said kid, who were about 55-year-old, about this saying he's so boring now because Verstappen wins all the time, but can you blame Verstappen for that? And can you blame Red Bull? I mean, my sort of point where haven't we got to be a bit more careful looking at sort of where's Ferrari gone? Where's Mercedes gone? These guys have had the same opportunities as Red Bull and just not managed to do it. So there's something to be said for that. Leclerc's now back in the lead from Verstappen, doing the business once again. Leclerc could quite easily win this Grand Prix tomorrow. With the sets of tyres we've got, I'm pretty confident we can make these last 10 laps to go. Sainz is in P4 from Perez, and Alonso Gasly down in P6 in that Alpine. Ocon in P7. Oh, doesn't that nostalgic watching Gasly and Ocon in P6 and 7. Russell P8, Stroll P9, and Hamilton in P10. Now, I've just been watching all the race on F1 and seeing Max when he first started, different person. Yeah, you were only 17 though, weren't you? There's something to bear in mind. You were really sort of young. So what he did were unbelievable, really. Verstappen is still leading, but we're just going to start taking it a little bit lighter on the tyres at this moment. Trying to catch this fuel up's been a little bit disappointing. But it, like you said, Paul, it were Mercedes before, and as they did it, like I didn't enjoy the Lewis Hamilton years. I enjoyed the Rosberg fight. And believe it or not, I actually wanted Rosberg to beat him. Because I was sort of a bit sick of Lewis Hamilton winning. And I do think Lewis Hamilton's got that sort of Mardy streak in him as well. I don't think there's any taking that away from him, but it is what it is. But right, we'll have a full rundown. We've got 5 laps to go. Verstappen's leading with the fastest lap of the Grand Prix. Leclerc is doing rather well at this moment in time. Perez in P3, Sainz in P4. I would expect that we can now start to just calm down on the fuel serving. In fact, we'll give it one more lap with Carlos Sainz and Leclerc, and then we're going to start pushing on. Alonso's in P5, Ocon P6. Then comes Gasly, Hamilton and Russell in the Mercedes in P8 and P9, and then Stroll in P10 at this moment in time. Right, Charles Leclerc, as we get towards these last few laps, we are going to really start. I mean, he's just got Verstappen again. He's having such a battle with Max Verstappen. It's fantastic at this moment. I mean, Verstappen's got DRS. We kind of want to be behind going on to the sort of final lap, I would suggest. We've got his fuel save now. We're going to conserve on the tyres, and then we are going to really push towards the end. Sainz is going to get, I would suggest Sainz is going to get Perez. Let's have a look at the tyre wear difference between Perez and Sainz. This Ferrari is not keen on its tyres, is it? But Leclerc has just pulled the right move off again. Sorry, Sainz has pulled the right move off on Checo Perez. Leclerc in P2 still fighting with Max Verstappen. Max was always a Mercedes driver. That would have been wild, I know. Imagine if you could go back in time. If we can do something like that on the new F1 manager, we might do that. To be honest, not really a Lewis Hamilton fan despite being British. Prefer Russell, reminds me more of a tactical Rosberg. Yeah, I would agree. I'm not a big Lewis Hamilton fan, even though I'm British. I were a massive Jenson Button fan. Huge Jenson Button fan. But yeah, it's I'm not a big Lewis Hamilton fan. I hope he does well at Ferrari. I like to see the British drivers doing well. But yeah, it's not ideal this. What's also not ideal is the fact that Leclerc, as we just fast forward on, coming onto this final lap, is just, and I mean just, in DRS. Sainz is going to attack here and be able to deploy. But Charles Leclerc, it's looking a little bit too much now. This can he possibly? The tyres have gone cold. We've conserved that much. We were trying to make sure that we got some tyres left towards the end. Could Charles Leclerc possibly get Max Verstappen? He's going to have to do it here on the final lap in the sprint race. Let's have a look from Charles Leclerc's point of view. DRS wide open. Could he possibly get down the inside of Max Verstappen? It's going to be very, very tight. Can he go for the lunge? He can't. Oh, Verstappen positions his car beautifully. And Charles Leclerc just can't quite get that move done. Will he possibly get him down to the line? I don't think he will. I think it's more or less job done for Max Verstappen. Can't wait for the we are checking to Hamilton, yeah. But Hamilton's quite mardy with the strategy as well, isn't he? He certainly can be. Charles Leclerc is giving this the absolute beans round the final corner here. Could he possibly manage to pinch it going up to the line? He's not going to manage it. Max Verstappen wins the sprint race. I do reckon if we'd have gone on medium tyres, we may have won that. Not as kind on its tyres as an Andretti Cadillac. That might be something to just prompt you for mark your card for whenever that is. In fact, I'm going to tell you when that is. Let's have a little look at when that actually is, because very important. So this week on Andretti we've got Monaco is tomorrow, and then Spain, and then we've got Canada and Austria next week. So yeah, that's where we're up to at the moment. And that weren't a bad result for the Ferraris. I didn't think P2 and P3 will take that, but yeah, it weren't bad at all. I still love this Ferrari livery. I think next year as well we're gonna have to be really careful on the colours. The other thing I was thinking about doing with the creator team is sort of bringing back a classic team and trying to make the livery like that. Possibly like, well, I mean, now I'm in Norwich, maybe Lotus should be what I'm doing. I don't know. And bringing back an old team and trying to sort of model it on that and build a storyline on that. So something else just to be aware of, things that we're thinking about for next year already. Next season on F1 Manager 24. When the new game comes out, I think it's going to be very important that we get that right. Right. Speaking of getting things right, let's have a look at the strategy. We've got a totally clear day. Makes sense to start on the softs here. I've always felt it does. We can take us time. We know we're probably going to have to pit a little bit earlier than the Red Bulls due to our tyre wear. So that's where I think we are at this moment. We'll just bring that forward. We're, of course, open to change. But this time, Charles Leclerc is going to have to attack off the line, as is Carlos Sainz. We're going to take a little bit of fuel out, not too much, because as we saw there, it can get a little bit difficult to recover the fuel. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, P2, P3, let's get to 5 red lights. As Russell says, points are on Sunday, not on Saturday. Double podium, though, is a good chance. I think we've got a chance for a 1-2 here today. I really do. There's no reason why we can't get a 1-2 here. Leclerc could possibly get Verstappen off the line. We've got 2 Ferraris attacking a Red Bull. Why couldn't we possibly get a 1-2 here? It totally makes sense to do. Let's see what we can do. Oh, and Verstappen's on mediums. Right, we could do with getting past Max Verstappen pretty sharpish. Come on, Charles Leclerc. He does get a decent start. Max Verstappen comes across. He would do that in real life, wouldn't he? That's exactly what Max Verstappen would do in real life. But Carlos Sainz has taken the opportunity, and Carlos Sainz is attacking the Red Bull of Max Verstappen as we go up towards turn 2 and 3. Could he possibly get the lead here, Carlos Sainz? Max Verstappen round the outside. And that is pretty... Oh, can he get him? He can't. Verstappen's just about staying in there at this moment in time. And can he get him now? Round the outside, he can't. Verstappen is going to lead. We are just going to calm it down now on the ERS. We don't feel the need at this moment to really attack Verstappen. I think we can possibly get him in a little while. But yeah, definitely so. Sorry for bothering the...
We need some lead calls.
Oh, brilliant. We've got some spam bots in. I don't even know how to deal with them. Let's see what I mean. Oh, that's not what we wanted. Right, there we go.
Okay.
There we go indeed. Right, Verstappen leads into the end of lap 1. Verstappen leads from Sainz, Leclerc in P3. Then comes Perez, Alonso, Gasly. Again, Gasly and Ocon, P6 and 7, doing really well this weekend. Carlos Sainz under pressure from Checo Perez. Sorry, Charles Leclerc under pressure from Checo Perez. He needs to get a shift on here. We're just going to give him the ERS to burn away and try and catch up to Carlos Sainz, because Carlos Sainz is going to have to put a little bit of ERS in to try and attack Max Verstappen. I don't want to kill the tyres just yet, and Perez goes for a lunge on Charles Leclerc. Charles Leclerc's got a right battle on his hands here to try and fend off the Mexican, who's putting up a real fight. Lovely work from Charles Leclerc to manage to fight him off. Carlos Sainz then still remains in P2, Leclerc in P3. Leclerc's happy with that overtake, and rightly so he should be, because if we'd have lost that position there, that could have been problematic for us. And now we can settle into this race. Sainz and Leclerc in P2 and 3. Verstappen leads. We'll now just turn off the ERS. I don't think we... in fact, we won't do that just yet. What we'll do is we'll fast forward onto this DRS being implemented, and now we will just turn off the ERS. We don't need to be mad on the tyres now. We don't need to be overly aggressive on the tyres either. We can make sure that we've got it in the bag. We are just burning away from Perez. Leclerc just about hanging on to the front 2. Sainz having a go at Max Verstappen into the middle sector. Can't quite get him once again. I would expect him to be changing places a few times during this race. Sainz in P2, Leclerc P3. We are nearly pulling away from Checo Perez, and nearly means we're going to really go attacking on the sides to try and extend this gap to Perez. Can we possibly do it? It looks like we've dropped him out of DRS. We certainly have. And what we've also seen is Carlos Sainz overtaking Max Verstappen for the lead of the Grand Prix. Lovely work. Down the inside, we can see that Verstappen's teammate Checo Perez is a little bit further back now. Not quite managing to keep the pace of these front guys. Lovely work from our guys. Right, lap 4. That should be us pretty much now steady away. We don't need to push too much more now. We've got ERS on both cars. Let's fast forward on a little bit towards lap 10. As you can see, they're just exchanging places, Sainz and Verstappen, at this moment in time. When we get towards lap 8 and 9, that's when we'll start seeing it. Leclerc now is actually leading the Grand Prix. Let's have a look at this. We're seeing some on-track battles between the Ferrari and the Red Bull, and Max Verstappen, he's being swarmed by Scuderia Ferraris at this moment. Of course, it is not quite his home Grand Prix, is it? It's his second home Grand Prix, of course, Max Verstappen, but doing rather well to fight with the 2 Ferrari boys. Leclerc leads now from Verstappen, Sainz in 3rd, Perez in P4, then Alonso, Gasly, Hamilton in P7, a further 1.7 seconds back. DRS is so important around here. Russell in P8, Ocon P9, Magnussen, K-Mag doing well in P10 at this moment in time, all the way at the back McLaren, Oscar Piastri, not quite doing the business at this moment in time. Leclerc is now pulled out in the lead, and he looks pretty comfortable at this moment. We'll fast forward on a little bit. We're coming in around lap 21. So it makes sense at the moment just to keep fast forwarding on a little bit. The front three at this moment, as you can see on screen now, as we just cut back to the live action, the DRS, what we created, the DRS train of these front three is absolutely huge because it's pulling away from Perez. Of course, Verstappen's going to be quicker in the middle stint, you would expect, but I would expect us, of course, to be very... We've got the option, we can go soft, medium, medium. We can go soft, medium, soft as well. We are not really burning out of tyres that badly here. So I'm not too concerned at the minute. Verstappen overtaking Leclerc again. Leclerc will now come back at Max Verstappen. I'm changing camera angles here. My word, we ought to be directing Sky, didn't we? As we can see, Charles Leclerc, does he go for the move? Oh my goodness gracious me. He nearly collides with his teammate. That was exceptionally close. We've got a yellow flag. Yellow flag on circuit. I thought the two Ferraris had collided there, but it wasn't. It was Zhou Guanyu who decides to lock up here. Let's have a little look at this. Zhou Guanyu in the Alfa Romeo. My word. At least it's not a kick Sauber pit stop. That's something we've not spoken about tonight. Do you reckon we might get a kick Sauber pit stop? The two Ferraris now still fighting away with Max Verstappen. Look, however, whenever I sim a season, Oscar Piastri never scores a point. Ends up 18th ahead of both Alfa Romeo drivers. Really? Okay. Piastri's a driver I do really like in real life, it must be said, and the McLaren save for next year, possibly. Obviously, we're going to create a team, but if we weren't doing create a team, I think McLaren would possibly be one that I'd be looking to implement. Maybe Williams. I'd like to see Williams. I think if you start with sort of AlphaTauri, you've no chance, have you? I've seen on the creator team as well that you sort of get the option whether you want to be a front runner or sort of start towards the back, so a lot to consider. What's also to consider, in Leclerc has got Verstappen, as we've just seen there, and Carlos Sainz looks like he's got past him as well. DRS wide open and Sainz is up into P2. It's these three and then it's the rest at this moment in time. You've had a 14-second pit stop and that was an exhausted crew. Zhou Guanyu, what's he done now? Zhou Guanyu, let's have a little look at this. Is he going into the gravel trap? He certainly is. Zhou Guanyu is not having the best day here at the Red Bull Ring. It wasn't the worst mistake in the world. I found it's more important. Oh, here we go. Paul is just dropping it in. Paul dropping it in. Oh, just 2.3 seconds, you know. 2.3 seconds. Don't mind dropping that in. Your lads are talking about 14 seconds and 3.7s and whatever. And Paula just comes, 2.3 seconds. Well, I don't know what you're making it so hard, lads. I really don't. Lovely. So I wish if I could get a 2.3 second stop on this, that is something that I really want to sort out for next year. I really think we need to sort that out for next year. Right, let's fast forward on a little bit more. Lap 15. It's going to be interesting. Whoever's leading, he's going to pit first. Verstappen overtakes Sainz. Let's have a look. What's our pit stop time here? Let's have a little look. Time considerations. 22 seconds for a pit stop. Sainz just dropped off a little bit. Saying that, Carlos Sainz looks like the one that's going to have to come in first and possibly go soft, medium, medium. Carlos Sainz doesn't seem to be keeping the pace at this moment in time, as well as the two guys in front. So, yeah, I think Carlos Sainz could possibly be coming in for an early stop here. And then we've got to just manage where 22 seconds gets us, which at the moment would put us out in a bit of clean air. Not too much, but I'm cautious that I don't want to lose DRS. And Carlos Sainz has, in fact, just lost DRS at the moment. Let's fast forward on a little bit. Sainz is now back up with him. That's beautiful work from Carlos. Leclerc's got Verstappen again. These three, like I said, just running away. So we'll take this time. We can have a look at the chat. Seeing people get below 2 somehow. I've been watching pit stop tactics, mate. I totally agree. And if you find a decent tutorial, I'm sure there is a tutorial on it. I try to not watch too many tutorials on games because I like to try and work it out myself. But yeah, if I could get a 2-second pit stop, I'd be more than happy with that situation. I try to make sure they're not exhausted and look at the cumulative view when setting up the pit stop training schedule. That's maybe something that we need to look at, and definitely for next season, next F1 manager, sorry, we might have to really look at it. Possibly if we do another stream. You just full send it to, yeah, it's all right. So Paula's pit stop crew's very, very fast. And Gibbo's pit stop crew are just like lifting the... They haven't even got a jack, man. They're just picking car up, Gibbos. They're not even, do you know what I mean? There's no need for them. Honestly, it's just like muscles out here. Unbelievable scenes. Right. Let's have a look where 22 seconds gets us. I don't really want to bring him out into that group of cars, do I? I think we need to. I think Carlos Sainz, he's lost the RS. He's got to pit this lap. Carlos Sainz is in next lap. He needs to be in because he's losing touch with the other two. And here we go then. Carlos Sainz, can we get a 2.3 second pit stop? I reckon this is going to be about 12 seconds. Because it's going to punish me for not streaming it for so long. Here we go then. I mean...
Sorry.
I mean, what can we say? Did we say 4.6? I mean, in fairness, and I'm not suggesting that we wanted that to happen, but depending on where Alexander Albon is, that's actually brought Carlos Sainz out in a nice bit of clean air. So I'm not, well, I am upset about it. Don't get me wrong, I'm not upset. But what I am thinking is we can try the undercut now. He's got 3 seconds to Lando. So 2 seconds to Lando, so that's fine. Leclerc can extend. Leclerc can just keep extending this stint, and he can possibly make the soft, medium, soft work. Sainz might have to go soft, medium, medium. Yeah, 2 seconds off, mate. And to be fair, I'm going to extend here. I'm going to extend with Leclerc. I don't think we need to pit just yet. As long as he's staying in the DRS of Verstappen, where would we come out now? 22 seconds. To be fair, there looks like there is a gap to bring him out into. I think this makes sense. We are going to box this lap. Box this lap, Leclerc. And I think this makes sense as we... this is it, Paula. You've got to find the silver linings, haven't you? Right. Where there will not be a silver lining is if this goes wrong. Because if this goes wrong, we're going to drop behind a couple more. Carlos Sainz has overtook Lance Stroll. Let's have a little look at that before we get into the full pit stops. Carlos is encountering a little bit of traffic at this moment in time. Lovely work from Carlos Sainz. But I'm not too concerned. He's getting the DRS. Leclerc's now going to blow it out of the water with a quicker stop or an horrendous stop. I mean, we're building the suspense. We're building the suspense. Hey, come on, you know what I'm saying? Sub 2.6. We are checking, that was sub 2.6, 2.6 seconds, absolutely lovely. Don't ever let somebody tell you that 2.6 seconds isn't impressive, because Charles Leclerc has just shown that it is. Lovely work from Charles Leclerc. See, Paula had the faith, you see. Paula had the faith. Charles Leclerc now, get on with it, sunshine. This is your chance to get that undercut. Carlos Sainz has overtook Lando Norris.
Now this was
and that is lovely work as well. Lando Norris, it's sad to see Lando Norris getting overtaken in a particularly bad car because we know how good he is in an Andretti Cadillac. Although we don't know how good he is because you haven't seen the rest of the episodes yet. But we do know how good he is. But Charles Leclerc stops. Yeah, exactly. Now, do you think it's going to rotate next time round? Do you imagine it's going to rotate? Carlos Sainz is absolutely burning these tyres. I'm actually thinking with Carlos we go soft, medium, medium towards the end now. Because he's really trying to tag on now. Right, Perez is into the pits. This is going to be interesting. Perez, we're a little bit further behind anyway. Let's see where he ends up. We're on lap 23 here, of course. Oh, hey, oh. Oh, dear. Oh, dear. Oh, this is terrible. That's got to be a long, long stop, hasn't it? My word, Checo Perez rolls out of the pit lane, and that is not good at all. Carlos Sainz has the new fastest lap of the Grand Prix, a 107.4 for Carlos Sainz. That's absolutely beautiful work. But Charles Leclerc now in P7, rocking on at the moment, pushing on. He's even getting a little bit of DRS, is Charles Leclerc. And this gap to Verstappen is extending at this moment in time. Carlos Sainz is still pushing on, trying to also get in front of Max Verstappen. It's all going rather well. Let's fast forward on a little bit. We are keen to see when Max Verstappen is coming into the pits. We are still being very, very aggressive on the tyres with Charles Leclerc, who's now caught up to a bit of traffic. He's got Esteban Ocon in front of him. Esteban Ocon at the moment, by the way, he's one of, when I'm recording the videos, he's one of those drivers that we just keep seeing to getting highlights of him getting passed, mainly by Pierre Gasly. It's quite nice to see. We could have kept Ocon because there were no reason not to keep Ocon. But yeah, he's one of those drivers at the minute, and we just keep overtaking him at will. It's ridiculous. Strolls into the pit. Verstappen very much extending at the moment. Sainz on 80%, Leclerc on 88. We're just going to calm Carlos Sainz down a little bit now. But what's got to be said is Carlos Sainz is definitely going to have to go soft, medium here. It's not going to work otherwise, this. I think that's the only way that we get Carlos Sainz to the end comfortably. But Charles Leclerc pushing on. We're just going to now just tone it down a little bit with Charles.
Take it easy
And all
there.
we're looking at now is when Max Verstappen is deciding he's going to pit, because here he is, Max Verstappen into the pits. Soft compound tyres for the second stint for Max Verstappen. Is it going to be a good one? That looked a better flicker stop from Max Verstappen and his team. I prayed the gods of Ferrari, and they say decent pit stops for the rest of the race. There you go, see, Paula, it's all coming together. It is indeed. Usually it's back-to-back, I noticed. Let's just hope Sainz doesn't have another bad one. I totally agree. In my careers, I call him Esteban Block on. He always holds up my drivers. Very good. I like Ocon.
You are doing a good job.
Feel bad. Yeah, in real life, yeah, definitely. I think that Alpine, it's because they've not got as good a team principal managing him as they have on this. That's something I would like to point out. I've got that Andretti Cadillac rocking. Charles Leclerc's rocking because he's passed one Mercedes, and now he's looking at the back of another one. Because is he going to get Lewis Hamilton here? Charles Leclerc has got Lewis Hamilton. That is a wonderful double overtake. Max Verstappen, it's nearly 8 seconds, that undercut that we've just performed. 8 seconds we've just dropped Max Verstappen by. Even Carlos Sainz, 3 seconds on that undercut. Superb. Obviously, Max is going to be quick now, but that is absolutely crazy at this moment. But yeah, Pierre Gasly and Esteban Ocon deserve a better car than what they've got. And like I said, we are now just tottering up to the back of... we're just going to harvest a little bit of energy. As Pierre Gasly, we're going to watch a pit stop from the Alpine boys. It's a decent stop from the Alpine guys. That was one of the most significant undercuts I think I've ever seen on this game. We are 7.6 seconds ahead of Verstappen. He's going to come up against Esteban Ocon pretty shortly. We will have a full rundown, I think, in a few laps time. When we get to halfway, which we will shortly, Sainz is now catching Russell. And as you can see, Max Verstappen is catching Carlos Sainz at a rate of knots at this moment. And we're going to watch another... It's pit stop. We're on pit stop cam. We're going to be the Ted Kravitz today in the pit stops. Let's have a look at Logan Sargent. We've been talking about him in real life so far tonight. My goodness, that's a bad one. That makes our pit stops look lightning quick. To be honest, I actually kind of like Ocon this season, praising him for all the small achievements the previous season. A teammate destroyer, yeah, and to be fair, destroying Fernando Alonso is not always ideal, is it? Verstappen looking pretty racy at this moment in time, and he's passed Carlos Sainz. We expected that to happen, but we now do get a double helping of DRS, which is going to help us no end. Verstappen sets a new fastest lap of 105.5. By the way, that is absolutely superb from Max Verstappen. But Carlos Sainz, this might drag him along nicely. He'll not be too upset with this. Charles Leclerc's just been topping up his ERS. That's fine. Let's have a look. Alpine are on the up. Gasly's no longer 21st in the championship. Exactly that. He can be feisty, but it seems with his teammates, but so can Max. Yeah, I think he can. Max, they don't tend to run into each other, the Red Bull guys. Bottas running wide. I'll show you Bottas because I know, Gibbo, you've got the Bottas career mode. So I'll show you Bottas just running a little bit wide there. By the way, I had a dining chair back at home. So my chair previously were a dining chair. This is like one of them WWE ones that they used to use. And I've got a pillar on it, and it's possibly not the most comfortable chair for sat in for as we're coming up to 50 minutes. Yeah, it's not ideal at all. But yeah, Max Verstappen is currently closing in now on Charles Leclerc. He's dropped Carlos Sainz. We kind of expected that, but I don't want to kill Sainz's tyres either. So at the moment, we're just going to let it run. And as we come up towards the halfway, I think that's when we'll have a little rundown on where everything is. We'll get to lap 35 because I think we're going to see Verstappen possibly attacking Leclerc very shortly. And we do see Verstappen attacking Charles Leclerc. Let's have a look at this.
Now we're watching Max Verstappen here.
And it looks like Verstappen's got him, and he's gone for a lovely move down the inside as Max Verstappen. He's obviously got the grip on the soft compound tyres. Shows you how quickly that undercut has eroded that lead that Charles Leclerc... we got the undercut massively, and Max Verstappen's managed to pull it back on the soft compound tyres. Superb from him. Perez hasn't been close enough now, he hasn't, to be fair. Yeah, he's just doing what he's got to do. But I mean, surely pride has got to take. I mean, if you're seeing Max Verstappen run away in the way that he does, surely there's got to be a point where you're thinking, you know, I really should be doing a little bit better here. I think so anyway. I mean, I wouldn't like to think that I was that far behind my teammate. You sort of measure yourself on your teammate, don't you? So yeah, it's not ideal at all that. Carlos Sainz's tyres are dying again, my word. He cannot make these tyres last. I'm off considering... Oh, we're going to say putting Carlos on the hards, but I don't think it's worked.
There's a crash.
We have a crash on circuit. We're going to watch Verstappen overtaking Leclerc. But yeah, pride for me would have to come into it. Let's have a little look at this. Oh, that's a little bit... I mean, that's a joke, isn't it? What on earth? Surely that is some sort of penalty for blocking. I mean, he's just blocked up. That is a proper Red Bull bit of teamwork. And then another Alpha Tauri decides to just, I mean, Nick De Vries. There's Nick De Vries everywhere on track. I'm sure we've used that joke on this streaming platform so many times. Oh, look at this. Look at her in the middle. I mean, that's, do you know what I mean? That's, do you know what I mean? That's when you come home, you've had a couple of drinks, your missus is disappointed in you. She's not even angry, she's just, you know, just one of them, innit? It's just one of them. Indeed, Verstappen now leads still from Leclerc. We're still looking pretty good here. Verstappen, I'd suggest he's going on to a set of mediums towards the end, I would suggest. Perez has got signs, interestingly. Let's have a little look at this one. Checo Perez, what's he on? He's on medium compounder tyre. Carlos Sainz not exactly pulling up any trees at the moment, and gets overtaken for a podium by Checo Perez. Fair play to Checo. That's lovely work from him. And he's now up into P3. So as it stands, like 39, Verstappen from Leclerc. Leclerc just about holding on. Perez in P3, Sainz in P4, Alonso in P5 doing rather well in the Aston Martin. Then comes Gasly, Hamilton, Russell, Ocon, Stroll and Magnussen in P11. Right, when are we pitting? 43% tyres for Carlos Sainz. I mean, could he possibly make these mediums last? Let's have a look. We fast forward on. I'm really cautious about Carlos Sainz's pit window here. I think we've got to get this absolutely right at this moment. Alfa is so far... Yeah, Alfa Romeo are not having a good day. Piastri's just come into the pits. Leclerc's tagging on nicely to Verstappen. And to be fair, Leclerc's going to be on the softs at the end. We can extend with Leclerc here. I'm not too concerned about this at all. Just bailed out on my Alfa career that I recorded. It was just so terrible. Yeah, Alfa Romeo's a tough one. Certainly a tough one to be involved in. Leclerc's dropped out of DRS. That is pretty unforgivable, to be fair. Get back in DRS, Charles Leclerc. We're not having that. Carlos Sainz still fighting with Checo Perez at this moment. Let's just fast forward on a little bit more. Got another yellow flag on circuit. We have not got the battery to catch Max Verstappen. Albon running wide on turn 9. It's all happening here in Austria so far. Alexander Albon, P13, running... Wow. That's track limits. Would we not suggest that is track limits? Yeah, but Alfa Romeo can be a very, very difficult team to manage, I've found. Could we possibly catch back up to Max Verstappen? We can catch back up to Max Verstappen. Lovely work for Charles Leclerc. Should get DRS now as well, which he does. Carlos Sainz is still extending here. This is working quite well at this moment. I'm not too upset about this. If we can keep extending here, when do we go on to the soft compounder tyre? We go on to the softs around lap 48. I don't think he's going to be able to extend that far. Leclerc certainly is. If we pit now, 22 seconds, that's going to bring us out in clean air. Mediums, we've got to pit this lap, haven't we? We've got to pit this lap. Carlos Sainz is pitting at this lap. Charles Leclerc's running on. We're going to stick with Max Verstappen, then go on to the soft compound tyre at the end. That's the plan with Charles Leclerc. Let's fast forward on a little bit now. Carlos Sainz into the pits. Nearly caught me out there. That Carlos Sainz in to the pits. Let's hope it's a decent pit stop. It does need track limits on the next... Hey. 2.8 seconds. We're loving it. Well done. We're loving it. God, I'm advertising for McDonald's now. Carlos Sainz, 2.8 seconds. We will take that all day long. Should come out in clean air. Kevin, yeah, he definitely should. Ocon had a decent pit stop, but now Carlos Sainz out in clean air. onto a set of medium compounder tyres if I push the right button. This is not looking exactly promising at the moment, and that's it. Carlos Sainz can attack now on these tyres. I'm getting my computer next week and hoping to start playing with mods to make it a bit more realistic. Yeah, it does help. I think it does help in terms of keeping the game a little bit fresher than it possibly would be otherwise, because, yeah, the mods really do help in that respect. Verstappen, 38% softs, plays Leclerc on 37% mediums. Can he get back in DRS? He can. He's struggling, isn't he? He's really struggling to get in the DRS, Leclerc. I think Max Verstappen's been quite fortunate with the...
Be careful with the tires.
I think Max Verstappen's been quite fortunate with the back markers. Those Ferrari gods would never lie to me. You've got one more to go yet, Paula. One more to go. And that is on Charles Leclerc. Right, we're just going to turn Sainz down to aggressive because we know he likes killing his tyres at this moment. But he's doing okay. We're getting some traffic moving out of the way. Right, Charles Leclerc. We are going to give it one more lap. Verstappen's into the pits. We will respond this lap. So Charles Leclerc, give it everything you've got this lap. Where's Verstappen? Let's have a look. We could do with Verstappen having a bad stop here. He's onto hards. Max Verstappen's going onto the hard compounder tyre. I cannot believe what I'm watching. I did not see that coming. Carlos Sainz, where are you? Carlos Sainz just coming around the final corner. Verstappen has cleared in, but Charles Leclerc, let's get around to the final corner. Leclerc is now coming into the pits. And this is going to be exceptionally interesting because really Verstappen should have an undercut here, but then it's his hard compound tyres plays soft compound tyre. At that point then it should be a foregone conclusion. 2.9. They're getting a little bit longer. They're getting a bit tired. They're getting a little bit tired. I can't believe he's gone onto the hard compound tyre. Where is Max Verstappen? Just coming down the start finish straight. Leclerc trundling out of the pit lane. I expect Verstappen to be in front of him. And he's going to be, but not by that much. And now Charles Leclerc can attack on these soft compound tyres. Carlos Sainz has got Perez behind him. Perez is on hards as well. So he needs to keep pushing on now while his tyres are fresh. And it's still not bad though. Yeah, under 3 seconds, definitely a win. Right, Charles Leclerc, get your send fire in there. He's got to catch Max Verstappen, and when he catches Max Verstappen, he's got to pass him at a point where he can push away on these soft compound tyres and drop him from that DRS. It's absolutely paramount that he gets this right. And here goes Charles Leclerc. He's not going to get him down this straight, I wouldn't suggest. Verstappen defending rather well. Can he get him up to turns 2 and 3? Let's have a little look again. Charles Leclerc, we ride on board with the Ferrari driver. He can't. This is a little bit concerning. Can he get him? Here goes Charles Leclerc into the corner. Can he get him into the tight right-hander? He certainly can. Does he get DRS as well? This is it. This is Charles Leclerc's moment now. He's got to push on and try and break the DRS of Max Verstappen. This is absolutely crucial that he does it through this final sector. It was a lovely overtake from him. We are just going to calm down a little bit on Carlos Sainz now. He's got the medium tyres, but now here goes Charles Leclerc. Let's just fast forward on. Can he break the DRS? He can't break it, can he? He's doing everything he possibly can. As he broke DRS, he has just broke DRS. Right, but what he has done in doing so is killed his tyres. He's got the 1 second gap. I have 31 minutes remaining of my workday. This may carry me towards the end. We will do our utmost. We will do our utmost. Right, Charles, this is very important now. You need to go light on the tyres. We also need to conserve some fuel. And we also need some some ERS charging back up as well. Let's get those tyres back into a window, which they now are. That's fine. Let's conserve on the fuel a little bit. That's very important as well. We've broke the DRS, but Max Verstappen's tyres are going to be much better nicked towards the end. Carlos Sainz is pretty much done and dusted. I think we will beat Perez with sight. Mind you saying that. Carlos Sainz is not exactly looking that promising. Lap 56, I think most people have picked. We'll have a full rundown. It's Leclerc from Verstappen, then Sainz, Perez in P4, Alonso P5, Hamilton in P6, Gasly P7, Ocon P8, Russell P9, and Magnussen in P10. He is getting away from Max, even though he's conserving his tyres. So this is working at the moment for Charles Leclerc. As soon as we've saved the fuel, which we probably just will have, in a few moments. That should get us towards the end now. So, my big concern is that Verstappen's tyres are coming to it towards the end. Leclerc has to get in the points, mate. You can see that they are. P10 at the moment for Magnussen. Lovely work from him. Sainz has got this looking wrapped up. But Charles Leclerc, his tyres are a little bit cold. They need to go into the window, which they now are. He is still pulling away from Max. I do reckon as this gets in towards the last 10 laps, we are going to start to struggle. We're going to have to conserve these tyres like you've never seen to try and fend off Max Verstappen. If I were Max Verstappen, I'd be feeling pretty confident. 75% odds. It's going to get very, very difficult towards the end here. My pairing is Magnussen and Bottas. Very experienced that is. Fair play to you, Gibbo. Very experienced indeed. 3.4 seconds is the gap. We are watching, all we are watching at this moment is the tyres. And as you can see, Max Verstappen is just starting to bring this gap down. I reckon we are going to have a fight on our hands at the end, as is Carlos Sainz, because Checo Perez now is starting to gain on him. It's going to be very interesting this towards the end. Perez is going to get DRS. We can't seem to warm his tyres up now. Lap 64, Verstappen is very much nearly back in DRS range, and if he gets back in DRS, I fear for us here. Dropped Hulk, can't get podiums for some reason, but does he qualify well? Hulkenberg's a fantastic qualifier, isn't he? Carlos Sainz, we've just seen, lose a position to Checo Perez on lap 65. We have got 6 laps to go here. Verstappen's strategy, he's looking right, maybe we should have gone mediums with Leclerc. I think it took him a little bit longer to get past Verstappen than he possibly wanted to. But Verstappen closing in at a rate of knots. We could possibly defend this well. But we can see now as we fast forward on a little bit, we might get a little bit lucky here. What we need to do is get lucky with traffic. That would be very, very beneficial for us. Let's have a little look here. The Aston Martin gets out of the way, but does, crucially, give us DRS. Charles Leclerc still just about holding on at the moment. Has he got any cars in front of him, Charles Leclerc? He can see a Williams up the road. If he could catch that before the next DRS zone, that would be absolutely great. Carlos Sainz still holding onto the bike of Checo Perez. Carlos Sainz still might get a podium today, but Max Verstappen now is looking exceptionally racy, and it's starting to get a little bit concerning, and Max Verstappen might even go for it before the final couple of corners. I think he's going to do. Max Verstappen doesn't quite get the job done. Charles Leclerc still defending as much as he possibly can. We're going to tell him to defend, make sure Max Verstappen can't get past, but Max Verstappen has got past. And that is now looking a little bit disappointing for us, because that Williams in front, is Charles Leclerc going to get DRS? He certainly is. We've got 4 laps to go here at the Red Bull Ring, and there goes Charles Leclerc up towards turn 2 and 3, manages to get the place back. Does he also get DRS off this AlphaTauri? Does the AlphaTauri get in the way? Oh, he certainly does. He gets in the way of us, but he gets in the way of Max Verstappen a little bit more, and Charles Leclerc gets DRS and gets a little bit more time back. My word, is this getting a little bit nervy now. Oh my God. Fast forward on again, we'll get towards, we can see once again Max Verstappen going for the move. He's going to get the DRS up towards turns 2 and 3 on lap 68. It's looking very, very close between Leclerc and Verstappen. There's only going to be one winner out of these two today. Charles Leclerc not particularly happy at that, but he will once again get DRS, and unfortunately I am getting exceptionally concerned about these tyres. I don't think these are going to last us 3 more laps. We are going to be at the end. I want to see if Magnussen gets a point. Magnussen, yeah, still very much fighting. He's going for a move here. Can he get the move done? He goes down the inside of Lance Stroll, and Magnussen is still fighting for some points today for Haas, but Charles Leclerc is dropping further and further back. The tyres look like they're gone. We can't make these tyres last any longer, and Max Verstappen is looking ominous at this moment. Can he possibly stay within that DRS? Carlos Sainz, however, is still battling for a podium as well. Are we going to get P2 and 3? Is it going to be P1 and 4? I think it's looking a little bit difficult to win this now. Carlos Sainz doing a beautiful job on Checo Perez there, though. We like to see that. Carlos Sainz now in P3. 3 laps to go. Leclerc is really, really struggling to keep pace with this Red Bull. And as much as the DRS zones are helping us, we are not gaining as much as we once were. We can see Verstappen a little bit further up the road. it's looking very difficult indeed. The 3 DRS zones are just keeping Leclerc in it at this moment. There's an option as we fast forward on once again. We're keeping a close eye on this with Charles Leclerc. Oh my goodness, ladies and gentlemen, Gibbo, you've just called it. Max Verstappen into turn 3 was under pressure. Oh my God, that, you can't even. Max Verstappen would never do that. But Max Verstappen locks up on lap 70. Charles Leclerc, you take your time. Gibbo called it in chat. One of our chat got it right. Max Verstappen locks up. Where is Carlos Sainz, by the way? We're going to have one final lap battle here, and it's going to be Carlos Sainz. We are going to push on. In fact, we're going to fast forward on. Charles Leclerc starts his final lap. He is going to win the Austrian Grand Prix, providing that he doesn't make any mistakes. Carlos Sainz, we are going to focus on this battle because this is now what matters. Carlos Sainz fighting against Checo Perez for the final lap of the Grand Prix for a podium. Leclerc has got the win. Could Carlos Sainz potentially get the podium here? The Ferrari gods are on it today, Paula. They absolutely are. Gibbo has called that absolutely spot on, and here comes Carlos Sainz. Is he going to get the move done here? He certainly isn't, but we are now going to say he's got to be aggressive on the overtaking. He's got to deploy on the ERS. He's got to attack on said tyres, because is he going to get a move done here? This is going to be absolutely crucial. Can he possibly make a move? He's going to the inside. Carlos Sainz can't quite get the move done. We're going to follow this right round the final sector because he is looking left and right, trying to attack the Ferrari driver on the soft compound tyres. Is he going to manage to do it? It doesn't look like he's going to the inside again. Carlos Sainz, he's going to get one last crack at this into the final couple of corners. Charles Leclerc has won the Austrian Grand Prix. Could Carlos Sainz make a move into the final couple of corners? It doesn't look like he can, unfortunately, and he's going to finish in P3. Fair play to Checo Perez. But let's cut to the celebrations because Charles Leclerc has earned every bit of that, Anthony. My word, has he earned that, Charles Leclerc. And that is superb. Charles Leclerc. And I mean, I've got to say, and Gibbo, as you say, as we cut to that, Kevin Magnussen gets a point for Haas. Fair play to Kevin Magnussen. There's a couple of other little battles going on, one of which involves our favourite driver, Pierre Gasly, who's going to get P7 today, getting past George Russell. Lovely work from Pierre Gasly. Superb work. Ladies and gentlemen, my word, let's get to the podium. I might have to make a YouTube short of that because that were absolutely superb, that Max lockup. And look what it means to Charles Leclerc. Unbelievable scenes.
What a well-deserved win that was.
The team has been waiting patiently there, and you can see just how much it means to each and every
I tell you something, it doesn't always happen like that on F1 Manager, does it? And Max Verstappen looks absolutely gutted on that podium because he had every opportunity to win that. He got it won on it. I think every one of us can agree that Max Verstappen had got that one, but just couldn't quite do it. And my word, are we upset about it? Absolutely not. Fair play to Max Verstappen. P2, but Charles Leclerc took the opportunity. He intimidated Max Verstappen. And it's a rose between two thorns, a Ferrari between two Red Bulls. She's had a good time already. I will forever remember this. Can't believe you absolutely nailed it, mate. You absolutely did, pal. Absolutely did. As we get towards the final classifications, Charles Leclerc wins from Max Verstappen. Checo Perez in P3, Sainz in P4. Then comes Alonso, Hamilton, Gasly in P7, Russell P8, Ocon P9, and Kevin Magnussen in the Haas in P10. Right at the back was Zhou Guanyu, Nick De Vries after spreading the De Vries everywhere, and Valtteri Bottas in P18. Drivers' Championship-wise, Charles Leclerc extends his lead to 41 points on Max Verstappen. Carlos Sainz is 39 points behind him, and Checo Perez on 140. Just to show you where Kevin Magnussen is, he's now in P11 for Haas. And then Nico Hülkenberg in P13. Great race. It were decent, that weren't it, Paula? Ferrari, we are top of the constructors, 62 points ahead of Red Bull. Aston Martin in P3 and Mercedes P4. Haas in P6 on 9 points, gaining one of those this weekend. And Alfa Romeo, Williams and Alfa Tauri yet to score a point. We did have some decent pit stops there, apart from one from Carlos Sainz. But apart from that, ladies and gentlemen, well, streaming. We came back to streaming and we got a win. It's a nice way to do it. I hope you've all very much enjoyed that. As I said, I don't know when I'm going to get the next one out. Even Javier, he's checking his performance rating and it's gone up as well. That's nice to see our race engineer going up as well. So yeah, I don't know when we'll be next streaming. Andretti Cadillac's going to keep Tuesday, Thursdays. We're getting in front on that. I'll try and fit another one in. It's not going to be Friday this week. We might end up doing another one, but yeah, if not, I'll try and get at least one video out. Well, I'll try and get a video out of this a week just so we make sure that we complete the season. But ladies and gentlemen, Paula, Gibbo, everybody in chat and watching, thank you so much. Pleasure as always, and yeah, the highlights will obviously be on the YouTube channel, and I'll see you when I next see you. Have a fantastic week. I'm going to see what Germany's got to offer tomorrow and Wednesday, and then yeah, I'll see you at the next one. Love you all. See you later. Ta-ra.